everybody. I'm sorry if I look like a ghost today. I can tell I do. The sun is kind of bright today, you know, as it generally is being the sun. Now, this week I was going to talk about greyhound coaches out here in Australia. However, I'm going to postpone that for a couple of reasons. So that will be coming to you as soon as possible, and I'm very excited about filming that, but I've got a little something up my sleeve that I'm trying to prepare for you guys for that video. So today instead I'm going to talk about how you can carry your money abroad, because it is such a common question that I am getting. So I'm going to run through some of the things that you can do. Keep your money safe. Your first option is basically using your debit or credit card from home whilst you're abroad. However, by using your home card abroad, you're obviously going to incur fees. And if you're going on a long trip, you want to save as much money as possible, and it's not going to give you a very good exchange rate. However, transferring money into a foreign account is also really expensive. They are going to charge you a huge transfer fee to get your money from one account to another. So there is another option, and it's a pretty cool option, but it obviously does have its downfalls. You can get a travel cash card. This is where it is like a little credit card, and you preload your money back at home onto it however much you want, and it's accepted pretty much everywhere. You'll also get a better exchange rate when you use a travel cash card. Excuse me, do you mind? Apparently not. We're just gonna power through the squawking birds. Some of the problems I have heard about travel cash cards is that if you lose them, it's extremely hard to kind of fight with the company to get a new one sent out to wherever you are in the world. But then again, it's hard if you lose your debit or credit card abroad as well. Some travel cash cards will have an expiry date, which isn't cool, especially if you want to continue your travels after the day you thought you'd go home. Now, if you are going to preload a cash card, what I'd recommend is that you leave some money in your home account. I normally leave $1,500 in my English bank account for emergencies, just in case at any point in time I need to get a quick flight home. Or if I run out of money, then I've got that as a backup. I also take a credit card from my bank, and I rarely ever use it, but it is there, again, just in case. If you're coming abroad to work, for example in Australia on a working holiday visa, then when you get here and you set up your own bank account, what I did, which probably wasn't the smartest thing, but it didn't actually cost me much in the long term, is use my English card up until I got a job and got my bank account, and then you live off your earnings out here and then not touch your English account. Of course, there's going to be time when you're not in work and you kind of have to delve into your English bank account for a little while to keep you going, which is horrible. Driving me insane. Do you remember back in the day when we used to have traveller's checks? Now, if you're really young, you may not remember them, and they've like almost completely died out now, but they used to be a great way. If you got a few £100 or a few $100 worth of traveller's checks, you could keep them on you in case of emergencies and then go and exchange them somewhere. And they were great, but they have really died out now. So if you're gonna go down the travel cash card route, that's a great way. If you're gonna do it like I did, use my English card for a little while and then live off my earnings, that's another good way. But if you are just going to go out and stick to using your English, American, French, wherever you're from, your card out here, and you need to withdraw cash, then here is my tip. You don't want to be carrying a lot of cash about on you. So before you go, get your best exchange rate and take a few $100s or however much, just to keep you going for a few days. Pay for your first hostel in cash if you want to. When you arrive there, you've got a bit of cash if you need to get a taxi or a bus from the airport. Then, when you go and withdraw your money, do it on a weekly basis. Budget yourself what you need for that week, and then just take it out in weekly sums. Something that you'd be comfortable carrying around with you or leaving in your safe or your locker at your hostel. But don't do it on a daily basis, because you're just going to be incurring bigger and bigger fees. But don't take too much out, because if you're carrying around thousands, well, you're just kind of asking to be robbed. So those are a few of your options. I will throw a few links in the down bar below of different places you can get your travel cash cards, and you can go and have a look for yourself and see which ones offer you a better rate. But don't panic, because a lot of people use their home cards when they come abroad. So no fear. no worry. Got any more questions, then drop them down in a comment below. Have a little bit of discussion. How do you carry cash when you're abroad? If you have any other questions about carrying money when you're away, then I may do another video, so feel free to suggest. I'm loving your recommendations for different videos, so put them all down because I'm here for you. So if you all like the idea of a certain video, then I will do it for you. So I will see you next week. Don't forget the button below, you can subscribe, keep up to date with all my travels and get some badass fly advice. Also, there is Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, all at Psycho Traveller, but of course the links are in the down bar below, and I will see you next week. Love you!